This is the AM News. Let's begin with the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, who's asking customers not to rely on middlemen and deal directly with the Volta River Authority officials for the required electrification services. Speaking at a forum in Sunyani for stakeholders under the self-help electrification project, Bono Regional Manager Patrick Entry said while the Commission works with VRA to ensure the availability of meters, consumers who encourage illegal activities would have the loss to contend with. Precious Semevo has more.
The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission (PURC) and the VRA NEDCo Forum brought together stakeholders under the Self-Help Electrification Project (SHEP) in the Bono and Ahafo regions to deliberate on concerns affecting effective and efficient customer service. The government expects to have the country connected to the national grid through the SHEP project by 2030. But it is saddled with many concerns as raised by the stakeholders, including the Bono Regional Minister Justina Osubanahini. Among the concerns are rotten poles, bills delay, power outages and delays in meter sales, leading to the use of middlemen, resulting in illegal connections and loss of revenue and lives.
Office on then a summit and finds themselves in the hands of consumers. After the obey you baby, no, not enquire there, enquire papa. Now, if you have a bed done, you know, because you know, I mean, we consumers and you as a service providers.
The Sunyani area manager of NEDCo, Engineer Eugene Odoi Ado, wants customers to test the system since they have enough meters in stock.
I think the main driving force behind this is the sale of energy meters to unsuspecting customers in the region, and it is impacting negatively on our losses. And then it is also resulting in customers' bill getting piled up, and that's something that we think we should nip it in the bud. So it is not just because the system is inefficient. There could be some little laxity on our part because we all have challenges. But like I always say, test the system. But if you go through the system, I assure you within 2 weeks, if we all play our part well, you can get your service connection.
PURC's Bono Regional Manager Patrick Entry called on consumers to engage service providers directly for their required services.
Most people have complained about VRA NEDCo, and if you ask them if they've been to the office before, they have never been there. And I always say, regardless of how sometimes stressful the process might be at VRA, we believe that whatever is good, whatever is bad is bad. That shouldn't encourage you to involve or get yourself involved in legal connection activities. But what we are doing as a commission also as well in the region is to make sure that all the time VRA has enough meters to supply to consumers. Now, if consumers come to you and you don't even have meters, you should find ways and means of making sure that these people get meters as soon as meters are available. Because at the end of the day, it's the meters that you use to generate your revenue to run your business. So we believe that as we are holding this forum together with VRA, it's not going to stop us from actually making sure that we monitor VRA to make sure they provide the necessary materials, the necessary meters for consumers to be able to enjoy power, so also to stop them from involving themselves in illegal connection activities.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, Sunyani.
The Kwadaso municipality in Ashanti region is among areas with the lowest family planning acceptance rates in the country. Health authorities are concerned that despite increased advocacy and sensitization, the area performed poorly with a family planning acceptance rate of 11.5 as against the national target of 40%. Municipal Health Director Grace Billy Campintip says her outfit is also faced with negative utterances from members of the public. There's more in the following report.
Ghana's Ministry of Health is committed to increasing the modern contraceptive prevalence rates, especially among married women, from 30% in 2020 to 44.4% by the end of 2030. This is expected to be achieved through expanded method choice, improved service delivery, and enhanced data management. It is also expected to reduce the unmet need for contraception among sexually active adolescents from 30 to 57% by December 2030 through the promotion of reproductive health education, among others. But despite several efforts, including roadshows to encourage residents to accept family planning, the acceptor rate is still low in the Kwadaso municipality. The area recorded a drop in family planning cases from 4,535 cases in 2021 to 4,400 280 cases in 2023, representing 11.5% of the total subscribed. The situation has left Municipal Health Director Grace Billy Kampitip frustrated.
So the situation in Kwadaso is quite interesting. Over the past 3 years, family planning rate has been consistently low. So in 2022, we did a lot of commodity show. We targeted the university community. We went to lorry terminals, we went to churches, we targeted groups, organized groups like the Dressmakers and Tailoring Association, the Beauticians Association, but it didn't really yield much results. So for 2022, we were able to record a marginal increase. We recorded about 12.9% for family planning, and we realized for 2023 it decreased again to 11.5%, which is a worrying situation. We're also looking at re-registration of the long-term method, that seeks to provide protection for a long period of time.
Ms. Kampitip spoke to Joy News on the sidelines of the Assembly's annual performance review. She said despite the setback, the Directorate will continue to engage residents at a time condom usage has also gone down among men. The municipality also saw its skilled delivery figures cut from 43.9% in 2022 to 41.2% in 2023. Ms. Kampitip says the Directorate will investigate what is contributing to the trend.
I'm very worried about the fact that skilled delivery rate is low. Okay, we have had, so we could attribute it a bit to the fact that some of our midwives have traveled out for greener pastures. However, as a municipality, the numbers that we have for midwives, especially for the government facilities, is still very good. We can't say same for the private facilities. Most of the private facilities do not have these skilled personnel, and that is the reason for which you have most of them referring cases.
Ohimi Temia's report read to you.
Now, across Africa, malaria continues to take lives. More than 600,000 people were killed in 2021 alone, and each year, many more people, especially children, die from the disease. The Pan-African Bank, EcoBank PLC, is seeking to reverse the trend. General Manager of Joy Brands, Fifi Kumson, joined the bank's Zero Malaria Business Leaders Initiative Conference in Lomé and now reports.
Timenda mintumenda metekata so saanti adechia na miniska na makobo besia na medem kana mede ne ko hospital nti aya sa akrampo no sika medidi medwane na asai.
According to the World Malaria Report, an estimated 249 million malaria cases were reported globally across 85 countries where the disease is endemic. This was in 2022. More than 600,000 people were killed. According to the WHO, Ghana alone is estimated to have witnessed 11,557 malaria-related deaths, although only 151 were officially recorded. Under its Zero Malaria Business Leaders Initiative, EcoBank aims to rally businesses to completely eradicate malaria in Africa. Elisa Desbordes is the Director of Operations at the EcoBank Foundation.
I strongly think that business leaders are also a role model, and that they can also, having business leaders engaged means also that they will be able to move the lines, and they will also be able to have even more business leaders involved. Because malaria, specifically in Africa, malaria unfortunately unfortunately remains a huge burden on the continent. And although it's a disease that it's entirely preventable and that is entirely treatable, and we can't. I believe that we can't afford to still have this disease, and I do believe that we all have a role to play, but specifically business leaders. And I'm really excited about this initiative that has so far had great results.
During the conference in Lomé, Togo, participants discussed the urgency of eradicating malaria, highlighting the need for immediate action. EcoBank Ghana is poised to spearhead efforts in the country. Daniel Kasati leads communication for EcoBank Ghana.
So as part of the Assembly initiative, we also have on board the National Malaria Elimination Program coming from the Ministry of Health. They are the Health Ministry. They have a 5-year strategic plan for Ghana. That is to ensure that we eliminate malaria. Now for EcoBank, we are on board to use our brand and our network to galvanize support from the business community, bring business leaders together to be able to mobilize funds and channeling same into promoting all the activities within the 5-year strategic plan so that we work together to eliminate malaria. We started this course by creating a fund and putting into it $120,000 as seed capital, and we expect business leaders to also contribute both in cash and kind towards this initiative.
Away from that, migration remains a global issue with significant societal and geopolitical implications. Addressing this and many other migration challenges, the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center has launched its 3rd edition of the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Security Forum on Migration. Commandant of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Major General Richard Edujani, says mitigating migration-related issues requires an adequate understanding of migration procedure.
Addressing conflicts and peace building in Africa needs an exploration of how migration dynamics intersect with societal resilience in the context of a multipolar global framework. It involves examining the impact of conflicts on migration patterns in Africa and proposing strategies to promote peace and resilience within the continent. The forum will delve into understanding how people moving from one place to Commandant of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center, Major General Richard Edujani, stressed the need for state actors to get an understanding of the inconsistencies in migration procedures.
This highly anticipated event brings together prominent figures to tackle burning issues of migration and its impact on global resilience in Africa. The theme for CAS Forum 2024 is Migration and Societal Resilience in a Multipolar World Order, addressing conflicts and building peace in Africa. Why is this relevant? As political tremors shake continents, the world order transitions from a unipolar landscape to a multipolar one. The shift, coupled with recent crises in Africa, Europe, and the Middle East, is pushing migration trends to new heights. Africa is faced with armed conflict, which has created instability in countries like Ethiopia, Mali, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, forcing people to flee their homes. Climate change is increasingly causing droughts, floods, and extreme weather conditions, which are increasingly displacing communities, particularly in the Sahel region and East Africa. State and non-state actors are playing a complex game, leaving crucial questions unanswered. The CAS Forum 2024 convenes over 200 high-level delegates and specialists from various fields, including political leadership, governance, diplomacy, security, and academia. This diverse task force will crack the code on migration's impact on security, forging solutions and collaborations to prevent instability.
Deputy Head of Mission at the German Embassy in Ghana, Her Excellency Ms. Sivine Johnson, asserts that migration remains a pressing challenge in the world.
It is a timely theme, as migration remains one of the world's most important, complex, and pressing challenges. According to the World Development Report of last year, 2.3% of the world's population live outside of their country of origin. This puts a double strain, particularly on low and middle income countries, as they first of all have to deal with a crisis that forces refugees to leave their home, but also have to host them in other parts of the countries and create new homes for them. Germany has been a consistent partner for CAPS, both technically and financially, since its inception in 2019. CAPS Forum has become a critical regional platform that allows policymakers, practitioners, politicians, media, and academics to dialogue and explore long and medium-term solutions to emerging security threats on the African continent. This must be sustained. Germany is committed to enhancing the platform for such critical decisions.
The third edition of the Kofi Annan Peace and Security Forum will take place from 27th to 28th February 2024 on the theme Migration and Societal Resilience in a Multipolar World Order, addressing conflicts and peace building in Africa. The forum will provide a platform for delegates and participants to explore approaches to addressing migration-related conflicts through effective policies and peace-building mechanisms in the region. Rejoice Semefa Peace's report, read to you.
That's it for the AM News on the AM Show. Up next is the news review. Please stay.